What's going on, everybody? I'm Peter, and I'm here with my brother Paul.
Hi guys.
And so I'm going to start doing these live streams more and more, I think. What's going on with
Nice.
you these days, Paul? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know, dude, the holidays, man. Which you think it's like family time, but I tried nothing. I tried my absolute damnedest to get away from everybody this holiday season.
Yeah, I kind of noticed. I texted you a whole bunch. I've got like all this stuff going on, like T-shirts I've been working on and artwork and everything. I started Fiverr, and so I'm like I'm trying to text you, going, hey, what's going on? Check this out. What do you think about this? And I could use your expertise on because you've got Spreadshirt, and so there's a whole mess of questions I had about Spreadshirt because it's not easy to navigate that website.
No, it's not. That website, like you said, navigating it is a nightmare. It's dumb.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent looking at Googling how to do this on Spreadshirt, and then there's like 100 other people who had the same question, and then the Spreadshirt lady or whatever her name is gets on there and says, "Oh, we'll go to this forum," and then I go to the forum and there's no answers, and I go to the questions thing in Spreadshirt and no answers. They don't even give you the categories to ask the question.
I forgot about that. I'm betting right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess and say that you had a problem doing two images on the same like T-shirt.
That is the big one. And then once I figured that out, because it's there. You could mess with it for an hour or two and figure it out yourself, right? But that was actually one of the few things I did get an answer on was how to put two images on there. They don't make it easy to figure that out. But then the problem became, so I have a shirt and I've got a pattern on the back because I know nowadays a lot of T-shirts have the designs on the front and then the back sides are blank.
Uh-huh.
But I remember the days of the old surf shirts and everything where they used to have the pattern on the back and like a logo on the front. Well, I'd have the pattern on the back and then I'd have the logo on the front once I figured out how to do two images. But the preview would show the logo on the front. So then I had to go back and figure out how to. That was where the big pain in the butt was figuring out how to show the pattern on the back side of the shirt. Because I'm all about that.
I know exactly what you're talking about because that's any merch that we've done. We try to take that surf shirt approach. Real quick, I apologize for interrupting you, but you've got Jason C in the house. We were talking about Twitter back before we started this whole thing, and Jason C is one of my favorite Twitter accounts that I enjoy following. He does tech stuff, and he does comparative stuff on Twitter where he talks about like Samsung versus Apple, and he's always got some really cool insight on that. But also, Jelly Duck 100 over here just subscribed to your channel, and Peter, I believe Jelly Duck 100 is your 50th subscriber.
Hey,
so congratulations on Big 50, buddy.
I hit the Big 50. I'm getting up there big time, and
yeah, you're hopefully this year. URL.
Hopefully this year I'll be getting. I might hit 100 by the end of the year.
You'll hit 100 if you're just consistent. If you live stream once a week, and if you can put out a video once a week, like if you can do that alone, yeah, I would suspect you'd probably be in the 400 or 500 range by the end of the year. If you can
right now it's like I get this weird anxiety doing making videos talking to myself, right? Which is why I don't have that many on this channel yet. But I get this weird anxiety talking to myself, and it's so much easier, more natural, I guess, for me to talk when I have somebody to talk to. So I guess like for right now, I do want to keep doing these streams, and but then when eventually I'd like to start doing some streams where, I don't know, if anybody wants to leave a comment or let me know, I do artwork. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll do some video streams, taking requests, I guess, is one. I saw another stream that a view on YouTube, a guy goes, or maybe a Twitch, where he streams Fiverr. He'll go into his Fiverr account and then stream himself drawing all the requests that he gets through Fiverr. I'm having actually a little bit of success with Fiverr right now, so that's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, Peter's starting off here like Jason and Jelly, and appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us, man. It's nice to have some good people for company here. And Mr. John A&J Outdoors, appreciate you joining us as well, sir.
Hey, what's going on?
No, Peter's just kicking this whole thing off. He's getting the tires spinning on it. And yeah, dude, I don't have. We need to get in touch with this. I set this stream up for him, so I don't have links to your Fiverr account or your Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot on anything for a while now. I've just been kind of getting prepared, I guess. But now this year I'm gonna hit it hard, and I've already got a lot going on.
You need to set some goals for yourself, and I don't know, like that's a weird one to say because it's in hindsight. Like, had somebody told, or they did tell me, and I remember my goals being really weird. Like our first year on YouTube, it was like that. So I think Roberto Blake or somebody was like, you need to set goals for yourself. You need to. This is a business. You have to plan it like a business. You have to do it like a business. You need to set goals for yourself. You need to set an annual goal. My expectation is to do this. I expect these 3 things by the end of the year. And then you need to break that down. In order to accomplish this goal, what do I need to do every single month in order to make that thing happen? That way, every single month, you're holding yourself accountable, just like you would at a job or just like your boss would at your job. And you need to do the work that is necessary to accomplish those monthly goals. And that's going to help you. Like when you have those times where you're like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Man, I don't, you get that kind of block. If you have a monthly goal that you have to meet, you need to find that thing to push through that block and be like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I've got to do something because I have a goal that I have to meet. So setting a goal for yourself at the end of the year, whether it be a subscriber count, a financial amount, a total amount of work that you want to accomplish by the end of the year, whatever it is, you need to have like that thing that you can set your sights on and gun for.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was going to ask what would be an example of a goal, but like subscriber count, maybe like what, videos, like how many videos you put out a week or something.
That's one we did, and not a per week per se, because at the end of the year, you don't want to be like, okay, cool, I accomplished 2 videos per week the entire year. I would say you want to schedule some time off for yourself. You want to schedule some pitfalls for yourself to be ready for. Like I took January off, and I knew I was going to take January off. I should have probably said something, but I had a really good idea. I was taking January off 6 months ago. I knew that was going to happen. January sucks. It's a bad month for everything. Why try? Like, just get set up for the next one. So like what I would do is I want to go twice a week. I want to do a live and I want to put out a video once a week. So I would say schedule like my goal would be I want to do 100 videos by the end of the year. That gives you 2 weeks off, and maybe you can earn even more weeks off if you a couple of times put out some random shorts video or something like that. So where you had 3 videos in a week, every time you do that, you just earned another week off.
That's another one. I do have a short video that I have on the. It's finished. When I went back and rewatched it, because I was doing those short cartoons, and I still have some more. I actually have like 3 or 4 in the works. There's a lot of work that goes behind these little cartoons, and I don't want them to be, plain real simple. But actually, some of the ideas that I've had late, like the past day or two, are actually real simple, short, generic, cheesy ideas. Anyways, I've got these videos that I've been working on. And going back and rewatching them, I'm like, oh man, the worst thing is having it finished and then looking at it going and realizing a major something you need to add to it, and realizing, man, I'm only halfway finished with this video right now because I'm not gonna put it out as is because it needs this extra oomph to it. Anyways, and my cartoons are all weird, and that's the whole purpose of my cartoons. I want completely random, pointless, get a quick laugh, if that.
I think that is a great approach. It needs to be refined slightly, and that's just it needs to be put through the lens of 100 videos.
Yeah,
once you've made 100, like by the end of the year, the stuff that you'll be doing will be so much faster and so much better. You just got to make that 100 videos to get to that point.
Yeah. And actually realizing that too, because with these t-shirts, so I've been doing all these drawings for a long time, and I'm finally starting to. I just recently scanned them all into my computer, which I've got hundreds of drawings nobody knows about because I haven't posted them anywhere because I was working on a coloring. I was working on like 5 separate coloring books, right?
Mhm.
And now that I scanned them into the computer, starting to color them in, and some of these were intended to be t-shirt designs and stuff. So I've been working on Photoshop, and I'm actually getting pretty fast, and I might even do some kind of tutorial, maybe not even a tutorial because I don't know, but like a walkthrough kind of video of how I do certain designs, Photoshop and all that kind of stuff, because I have a lot of time in learning all that. I might be able to save somebody a lot of time in learning just by watching what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm finally in a place, finally got a place where I'm doing that. So that's nice. I'm working
Dude, that's
on.
all the difference in the world. And you need to be hammering it out. Like you got that artwork. We'll talk more like behind the scenes or whatever is needed, but you need to be cramming that out. Like you need to put out a post on Instagram like once a week. Or I'm sorry, a post on Instagram once a day on weekdays.
Yeah.
Same thing
Yesterday
on Facebook, and then
I
plan out your 2
out.
videos per week on YouTube. And they will
I put out
work together.
I put out 3 yesterday just to see what kind of drum up, what kind of business I could put out on Instagram yesterday. The 3, because the shirt store is there's only like 4 or 5 designs on there right now, but I got more coming. All right, yeah, just like the cartoons, I got more coming. I've been working on them, getting faster at it, and they're getting better. The audio is actually the major problem with the cartoons, trying to get the audio right. I mean, it's weird yelling into a microphone, when you're in here all day long working on something and you're trying to get that perfect pitch or whatever. You got like something you're trying to record yourself,
Or the
so that
cadence.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't sound like the other characters in the show, but then also I don't sound I don't know, like me, I guess. I don't know. And I have to adjust this. I can adjust it, sure, to a degree in the computer, but I still have to hit certain frequencies. When it comes to like comedy, there are certain frequencies that if you hit, it's funnier than if you were to hit like an octave lower or maybe like a couple of notes. I don't know. I noticed that I'm trying to get. It's weird yelling into a microphone like that.
Yeah, I did that voice thing for you a couple of weeks on that last video, and I had the same issues with it. Where I was sitting here with my phone, I recorded it with my phone, and I was just sitting here like, and I'm all alone at the house. I've got nobody else here, thank God, because it would have been even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I do have the neighbors. Like the neighbor's house is probably 20.
That's what I'm worried about. The neighbors.
Yeah, I've gotten my walls are super thin, and I'm sitting here yelling whatever ridiculous thing it was you had me saying. I forget what it was, but it was something dumb. I read the whole script. Boobies. That's what it was. I had to sit there and boobies. I'm not good all these different ways.
And then I didn't even use your clip. I used mine. Your neighbors are like, "What's he yelling over there?" And it was all for nothing. That's hilarious. I see. With the cartoons, I kind of want to do I have the idea of like a playlist, right? The cartoons are all going to be for this eventual playlist when I have enough. The playlist being,
and there being a whole fleshed out story that's going to happen by the end of them all.
Well, sure. I mean, there'll be continuation stories amongst each little skit that I do, but the idea of being interdimensional cable, right? That's where the whole premise for these weird oddball cartoons, and and the ones I got coming out are going to get even weirder. But they're just like, I just want a playlist of just background weird random noise. You know what I mean? Like it's TV noise. Like if you were to flip through channels and I don't know, whenever I hear somebody flipping through channels, I want my playlist to represent what I hear when I hear people flipping through channels. Because I hear weird, like commercials are the best, because if you actually, nobody listens to commercials, but I love listening to commercials because they're so weird, especially in the 90s. Nowadays, their messaging is so weird and subliminal, it doesn't even, and political, that I'm just kind of like, ugh. But back in the day, those 90s commercials are bizarre. They were not subtle.
This is so dumb. This is so ridiculous that I can see you doing like a 15 million subscriber channel with it. Because
that's
somebody at some point, I guarantee you, what's his name, Jason or whatever his name is, Mr. Beast, he said the same thing. And somebody was sitting there going, "This is so dumb. This is dumb. You're going to put a bunch of Orbeez in a pool? Yeah, that's going places."
I want to know how he gets the money. I know I've read a little bit about it, how he gets the money to do those, like every video.
Multiple sources of revenue. Yeah. I think he takes all of the money from YouTube, all of his AdSense, because he's got way more money coming in from like the YouTube money, which is a lot. It's millions. But that YouTube money that he makes is pittance compared to what he gets from Honey and some of his other sponsors. So I think he takes all his YouTube money and turns that right around back into the channel.
And some of the stuff he does, it's pretty admirable. I mean, I actually really like Mr. Beast in his videos.
Everybody does. Everybody totally respects him. He did it right.
The Domino's pizza guy, that's one of the most notable ones that got me really. Before that one, I hear the girls watching it, and I'm like, oh God, they're watching Mr. Beast. But then I actually sat down and watched one, and I happened to be the Domino's guy, and I was like, wow, I can really stand behind this guy. Like, I can support that. And then he just won. I haven't watched it yet, but he did what was a stream, something about putting something on a spaceship to go to the moon, or putting something on the moon for $10. I don't remember. I didn't watch the video, but apparently he bought space on a rocket to put stuff to go to the moon, and he was having his streamers, I guess, pay to put something on the moon. Pretty cool idea.
I tell you what, and now that I'm finally going to be like employed again, one of the things he does, and it's now a trend, so it's not quite the same, but I want to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have fun with it. He goes like, he just like goes and watches people's live streams, and then he just donates $10,000.
Oh yeah. I love those videos.
Like, obviously,
I mean, that's like a pretty one too. Leon Lush did that also. I mean, a lot of people have done it.
Leon Lush and him are like, that's how Leon Lush kind of got his big kick, was he was in a couple of Mr. Beast videos, but
I know that
he did a competition with. He was already bigger when he got there, but then he got invited because Leon Lush is awesome. He got invited in, and obviously got a big spike of subscribership when he did Leon. He did a couple of Mr. Beast challenges, but yeah, now that I've got a little bit of income coming in, one of the first things I'm going to do is go around buying some merch from some other YouTubers, because I'm going to start sporting merch for YouTubers and live streams and videos and stuff like that. But for two, I want to do like an entire video dedicated to like watching fishing live streams and donating money. It's not going to be much. I'm not going to be the $10,000 guy, but I'm going to go around doing 10 spots or something. Real quick, Peter, you got Mom in the house, and John, really appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm super excited about it.
That's pretty cool.
Rachel got mad at me last night because I announced it to the live stream instead of telling her first. She got upset with me.
How did you not tell her first?
Because
I back you on that one, Rachel.
Okay, and for the record, I'm not allowed to say anything until February 8th. That's when the contract officially begins and everything. But so I can't actually talk about anything in particular about the employment thing. I can allude to it and I can have fun with it, but I can't say it specifically. But dude, we've been talking about this in September. So it wasn't basically, I mean, I had a thing that I was doing for a company, and they were offered me a promotion, but I never got the paperwork. They had a whole acquisition thing that they went through. I wasn't able to sign into it, but we had numbers in place. We were like, okay, if it's this and this and this, then, that's all I want. You meet those requirements and I'm good to go. And it kept dragging along. There was other people that had to go through some promotions and stuff like that. They went through their whole deal. Finally, it got around to me, and the numbers were more than what we talked about. And they didn't say anything until I got the email in the live stream yesterday. So when that happened, I got that email and the numbers were more than what I was, told they were going to be. I'm like, well, hell yeah. Like Rachel knew. She knew where we were at with the numbers. I didn't say the numbers. I just know that they were, we had discussed it so many times over the last couple of months. We knew where we were at. That's why she was mad. I don't know.
Not
She's
because
over it now. Like we're
you got
good.
the numbers, she didn't, and you didn't tell her.
Yeah, I don't even think I've still told her because she was mad. So I'm not going to tell her until she's ready to be happy.
You can't. You got to leave a little bit of mystery in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like how much you make? Not that much, or maybe or maybe more.
And
What do you
also
like to know?
like it could go either direction. Like it could also be like, what do you say if it's like if she's a teacher? So what do you say? How do you present it if it's less than what she makes? But also, she's being a teacher. How do you tell her if you make more than she does as a teacher?
Well,
You know, it's kind of like a different delivery.
so when
Direction.
I was in the oil field, I was making
I like this oil field answers.
twice what she was making. But I mean, and that wasn't like a big deal. It was just, but that job wasn't going to last. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like in the long run, she made more, but in the short run, it was. But so I never really. It wasn't like I was holding it over her head or anything. Like, oh, I make more than you
Yeah.
because I knew, and I'm like, basically it was like this. I was making good money, and she's like, "Oh wow, you're making good money." I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's oil field, still get used to it." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's be smart with it because it's not. I already know it's not going to last. It's. You watch what happened, and then when I got the job again, it was the same thing. Like I went into that job. I mean, hopeful that I could make it last, but I knew that was not going to work. It wasn't going to last forever.
I was the same way. Like from day one, at Streamflow, from day one, you know how it was. Like that was
Yeah.
8 years of between Streamflow and uh, Streamflow and Conoco. It was 8 years of you're fired. It just hasn't happened yet.
Pretty much. So I don't miss that at all. The stability of not knowing if you're going to be there tomorrow or not, it sucks.
So,
but that's where that's where like YouTube and all this other stuff comes in. It's like
right.
hope for the future. It's pretty good. And now that I'm getting on, I mean, I was on Fiverr for a day. I put one post up. It was just for a little $5 drawing on Fiverr, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I'll sketch your idea for $5. And this guy got on there and said, "Hey, what about this idea?" And I was like, "Okay." So I sketched it up. And then he's like, "Well, hey, do you think you could change it a little bit? I was kind of hoping for something like this. I'll pay you another $5." And I'm like, "You know what? You're my first customer. I don't have anything else going on. Here you go." And I did it again. He's like, "Okay, what about, could you change this?" I was like, "You know what? Why not? I'm having fun with this. This is new to me. So here's a change." And then he's like, "Okay, but now like that, but dude," I'm like, "Okay, hold on a second." And that's when I got on my phone because I'm drawing these little sketches. And then I did a real quick doodle on my phone using the Corel app. And the first time, I sent him the picture. He's like, "Oh, that's really good. You think you could change the angle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So I just took, because it's layers, I changed adjusted all the same drawings. And he's like, "That's it. That's perfect. Here you go." And I was like, "All right. I mean, all right, $5, no big deal." Then he came back and said, "Do you think you could do something like this?" And I said, "All right, that I could do, but that's going to be like a $20 drawing. That's going to take a little bit of time." And at this point, like, I know the guy's going to want changes. So $20 didn't seem like, it seemed high and low, I guess, like depending on how much detail I was going to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it, and he agreed, and I did it, and he loved it, and only had a few changes he wanted me to make. They're easy changes. So then I was like, "Hey, man, well, if you got any more for me to do, let me know. I don't want to like take all your money or anything." Then again, I guess I do. That's some point, right? Selling artwork. Anyways, I've done 3 of those drawings for him now, and I've got like schedule of I've got another 9 to go, I think. Like he's already said, "Here's 9 more I need you to do. If you do it like this," and we got continued business.
Nice.
And so he's good reviews.
You need to wear yourself out. You need that, like you're working on that. While you're working on that, you need, again, once a day posts on Instagram. And before you start doing that, we need to talk, because the Instagram algorithm has things that it likes. There's things that you need to do in order to satisfy the algorithm and get it out there. But you need to do the once a day Instagram, the once a day Facebook, you still need to do the twice a week videos on YouTube. And you need to try to take on as much business as you can physically get that thing rolling, get some money coming in on top of what you're making money now. Time to roll it. Time to keep it going.
I definitely want to do the live stream for sure. And I'm not sure what the best day is. My personal preference would be like Friday, but I want to do more than just one a week. I want to do like maybe one of these or two of these a week. And then I would really like to get into something where I'm sitting there taking orders while I'm doing a live stream and just drawing the order. Somebody wants to know, hey, how do you do this? Like, hey, it's going to take a couple of hours, but let's do it. I'll show you exactly how I do this process. The way I do certain drawings, I guess some people have drawing tablets, right? Oh, the professionals all have those drawing tablets, so they can go straight to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I like the nuance of using a pen and ink, kind of you know what I mean? Like the drawings don't look computer generated.
Mm-hmm.
Like the line work doesn't look computer generated because it's not. But there's a trick to putting that on a computer and making it look good. So there's a whole process from drawing to scanning it into the computer to putting it in the computer with and then cleaning up the line work. That's all something I think I could fill hours and hours. So I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best thing for YouTube. Maybe Twitch. I'm not sure.
Another
one to talk to you about.
Yeah, and that's something that you need to experiment with. Try that on Twitch. I would think Instagram would probably be a good one. I know IG Live, it doesn't pay, I don't think, but it's one to consider because people on there like that. Obviously, YouTube anything video is a really good direction to go. But also, and there's some things that we can do down the road, like, it's possible. It's possible to do it like at all platforms at the same time. That's one to consider. And also things like, let's see if we can do it here now. Yeah, so you've got you can do these screen things like this to where, and we can add a camera on this. There can be days where you can, start drawing and set up a camera for this screen right here, the big one that's specifically down on the drawing board. And then you and I can be off to the side over here chatting while the drawing is going on. Like there's different directions that you can go.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would like to end up doing, is something like that. And I mean, if it wasn't, I wouldn't say dangerous, but if it wasn't possibly okay, so here's the idea. I don't know how to explain it. It'd be cool to take video calls, right? Like putting in the chat the link to get on the show, say like back in the old days, radio shows and stuff, like, hey, caller, blah, 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 except now we've got video chat. So it'd be cool, but I'm not going to put my personal phone number on there to get video chat. I'm not going to, I mean, if I put the link to the StreamYard or whatever in there so that they could come in, I guess they could be behind the scenes. I don't know how many calls you can get on there, but then there'd have to be like a call screener. But I think it would be cool at first, at least, to have video caller.
I've seen
like,
people
hey,
do
what's your
that.
question?
I've seen people do that, and you can do it to a certain degree. Once you get upwards of where you're getting 30, 40 people in the chat, you're going to start getting some weirdos coming in. Like probably
that's the problem.
We get weirdos
that's
at like
you need
10.
That's where you need like a call screener, somebody. But then even then, you could get past the call screener and then throw something on there that gets you demonetized or banned or something, which is the problem. Yeah, I mean, it's more prevalent even. So,
but there's also like it's okay. So another thing that would really be valuable in this is to maybe become a member of. And I suggest doing this. This is another resource for you for everything that you're doing. Find one or two Reddit groups that associate with the things that you're doing. Make friends in there. Chat and hang out with them once a day. Spend 20 minutes writing some letters, saying hi, cool artwork, that sort of thing on Reddit, on forums. Places where people meet to discuss those sorts of things. Make some friends there. There's a lot of value in that. And Discord is another one. Do the same thing. Find some groups on Discord to make friends with, and then when you go live, you want somebody to talk to, you want to change it up, you want questions, you want different opinions. I would go through those channels. I would go through Reddit and Discord and forums and be like, hey, I'm going to be doing this live stream. I'm going to be drawing this thing, you know, talking about this topic. Anybody want in? And you'll have people, you know, you might have 3 or 4 people pop up like, hey, I'm interested. And you'd be like, well, you're a jerk. I don't like you, but you're cool. Come on over. Let's do this. Let's chat.
That's a cool. That's a good idea.
That's a great
I don't
place
even have Reddit right now. That's another one. Reddit's another one that I hear about. I haven't done. Like, I don't do Twitter, and I hear that maybe I should. I don't know, but Reddit's another one I don't. I'm learning all this stuff. Right. I've been focusing on learning how to better my craft. I haven't been learning how to do all the. I'm not like some non-tech savvy guy. Like, I understand how these things work. I just haven't learned how to use them yet. Reddit's a new one. Reddit used to be hey, how do I fix a broken lawnmower? I guess, I don't know, that's my perception of what Reddit used to be. Or, hey, what's the most disgusting thing you've ever heard of? That's what you used to go to Reddit for. Internet lore, right? That's all I've ever heard from Reddit. So I had no use to go there, but you're right, going there, joining forums and stuff makes sense. Now, and Discord, I just barely even heard that word, other than people commenting, like talking about this Discord, like, you know, on these YouTube streams. You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard of Discord up until recently.
Discord is a good one. I like Discord. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time on the TubeBuddy Discord, working on there. And I'm really a fan of like all of the resources that are. It's a really good place for people to be able to talk about various topics easily. Like if you have Discord and you are somebody who wants to talk voice, it's not the best, but it does have that resource for you. If you need to show pictures or video, if you need to explain things, you know, if you need to type it, like, they have all the resources available for you to have that conversation in the way that you need to have that conversation. Now, Reddit, I would say Reddit is a great place for numbers. There's a lot of people on Reddit. You can get in front of a lot of eyes very easily. Forums are like that in general, Reddit being a good one. But they're the biggest conglomeration of assholes on the internet belongs to Reddit. Those guys are absolutely unforgiving.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get lost in there. Like, I watch like Wang, right? I love his videos, but a lot of that stuff comes from Reddit, and I can totally see myself just getting lost in like a black hole or down the rabbit hole of Reddit, because I'll spend a video. Okay, the most mysterious song on the internet, right? Yep. That was one that I watched his video and was like, that's interesting. And he had 4 videos on it. I think he's got 5 now. Yeah. And I was really into that, man. I watched all of his videos, and then I went and did my own research into that song, and, you know, just to be a part of the investigation. It was so cool, such a cool thing. And of course, I, you know, quickly realized that people have been working on this particular issue for 10 years, and that there's literally nothing I can contribute. I have no connections. There's nothing, like, they've already maxed out their own connections. Hence, it's the most mysterious song on the internet, you know? That's not a case I'm going to crack. But you know, that I could see him getting on Reddit and then looking into these forums and then going down the rabbit hole, wasting all my time. Like some people who waste all their time on Twitter arguing with other people, I'm learning to solve mysteries.
TikTok.
Or 4chan. I'd be like going to 4chan next. Just watch.
You want to lose some time in your day? TikTok.
I can't. All right. So I downloaded TikTok, right? Then they were going to ban TikTok. So I kept it, even though I never got on TikTok. Like, I never used it. I never posted anything. I have a lot of ideas that I think would work on TikTok, but then YouTube started doing their 1-minute video thing. They're shorts.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's roughly the same thing as TikTok. So I think I did eventually delete TikTok because I never used it. I don't get how
You
people use it all
okay.
day. Boring to me.
You need to
I
do
guess
both.
like my playlist channel that I plan on making, it's like about as boring as that, I guess.
You need to do both. You need to get TikTok going, and the reason being is because recycled content for like what you're doing, it's really important. If you make a video for like if you're making a short for YouTube, TikTok is the exact same thing, but it's going to be a different demographic. It's going to be a different audience. There's people on TikTok who don't do YouTube, and vice versa. If the video is good for both of them, use it for both of them. It could be a dud on YouTube and an absolute hit on TikTok. Do them both. Just put it on there. And as far as what you're talking about like getting addicted, going down that rabbit hole, you got to have a business mindset to it. You don't do that. You don't go searching for stuff. Like I don't go looking around on Reddit for anything. Not a damn thing. I've got a list of 10 different channels that I follow on Reddit, threads, about different fishing topics and things like that. When I have a post that is pertinent to one of those topics, and I'm real picky about it because Reddit will tear you up if you post something that for some reason doesn't agree with the members of that, they just eat you alive. So once in a blue moon, I get something that's really pertinent to their topic, and I've been kicked out of a few threads with those guys, but I'll make my post on there, and then I'm out. I'm not going and looking around. I'm not spending time. I make my post. I make my friends. I'll sit there and have a few conversations because you got to be a part of the community. But then I'm out and I'm on to the next thing. Same thing with TikTok. I will look on there for inspiration. I haven't figured out TikTok. I don't spend a lot of time doing that one. I do look on there for inspiration, and I should probably use some of that TikTok stuff for shorts more. But yeah, same thing. Like I'm not going to spend 3 or 4 hours sitting there and cycling through TikTok videos. I'm going to get what I get. I'm going to make my post, and then I'm out. I don't have time for it. I've got to do my Instagram post. I've got to do a Twitter post. I've got a YouTube Shorts that's coming out, a live stream later on. I've got classes. Too much going on to waste time on stuff.
And that's another thing. I'm looking at, okay, I'm looking at how much space I have on my phone to download all these apps too. I've already had to delete a couple because I wasn't using them. Like Spotify was one that I had. So just so that I could watch the Joe Rogan and then to listen to your podcasts to see how the audio was working, right? Because I was in most of them, so I already knew what we were talking about. But then, like, I started having to download some more apps, so I had to. That was one that got the X, And now I'm looking at Reddit, Discord. Discord's an app, right? That one's one I got to get. Reddit.
Yeah, but
TikTok.
you can put this stuff on computer. You don't. It doesn't have to be on the phone.
Okay, well, here's the problem with computer. Instagram used to be something you could do on a computer, and now it's not. You go on Instagram on a computer, and you can't post videos or photos anymore. At least I can't. When I did it the other day, the option to post a photo from the computer, because it's a mobile app, and so everything you do has to be mobile, right? You can only upload stuff from the phone. And I don't even know if you can edit any. Okay, so on the phone, I can't edit a post as easily as on my computer. That's Instagram. Yeah, and that's like with all of them, though. TikTok, Fiverr. So Fiverr was one that the app is almost worthless because you can't. But then I learned how to use the app better, so it's actually not as bad. The app for Fiverr is about on par with the computer, but you can do a little more on the computer. But then there's the Spreadshirt app. I had to delete that app because it's completely worthless. I have to use my computer for Spreadshirt. All right. The app was only the analytics. You couldn't upload anything. You couldn't do anything with edit anything or the page. You could only look at how much money you're not making. So I had to delete that app. Well, there was another one. I can't remember what it is. Facebook was one. You can't make certain changes on the computer, but you can get into your phone. But I want to say it had to do with sharing. When I'm sharing a video on a computer, for whatever reason, it won't let me share. I've got Peter Orchard and I got Peter Orchard Studios on Facebook. All right. Peter Orchard Studios is the professional studio account. So when I post something, I try to post like a piece of artwork. I'll post on Peter Orchard Studios and then share that onto my personal page. But I can't do that as easily from the phone or the computer. I can't remember which one. I think it's a computer. I can't share it as easily as if I was on my phone because certain features aren't on the phone. And that's where it gets complicated, like the Instagram. I think Instagram's the worst because I can't post anything on the computer.
I would like to make mention how many times people have given me shit about doing my YouTube channel all on a phone. I would just like to point that out. And Peter, if I'm not mistaken, probably 4 years ago, you were one of them giving me shit about doing it on my phone.
That's bullshit. I was never against doing anything on the phone. It was, as I recall,
I know
my idea.
Andrew
as far
from
as
TubeBuddy gives me shit daily about it.
So, as I recall, I might have been the inspiration for your wanting to go full cell phone because of BAC. BAC, we didn't have any equipment.
That definitely played into it, knowing that it's a possibility that it can be done.
I said we could do it with cell phones. I know what software I need to make this happen. So I might have been the inspiration for your whole concept of doing everything lowbrow, whatever, with the cell phones.
It was no, I can't. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I don't want to take away from that. I'm not going to say full on inspiration.
I don't think I'm the actual full on
inspiration. BAC, after doing that,
you realize it's possible.
That set the precedent. Like after doing that, it's like you can do anything you want with a phone. After that nightmare project.
And to be fair, I wasn't exactly like, hey, I want to do something edgy and film the whole thing with cell phones. I was more like, well, we don't have any cameras. I don't have any of their equipment yet, but this is what I can do, and we can try. We can try and make it work with cell phones. I mean, let's give it a shot. It's going to be the biggest pain in the butt, and to this day, one of the biggest pains of my entire video career was that week, that nightmare week. No sleep.
That was so.
That was the fun. That was one of the funnest and one of the most unfun weeks ever because I had a blast filming and making the video, editing the video, and doing all the rest of it sucked. Horribly.
Is that video on this channel?
I don't know. This is Peter Orchard Studio. It might be. I think it might be on this one.
I'll look that up in just a second. We'll continue that conversation, but real quick. Want to get caught up on the chat. There's some chat.
If it's not on this one, it's on Fortress of Rock.
Oh,
what channel? Yeah, I think it might be on Fortress of Rock. Thinking about it, because I didn't have Peter Orchard Studios back then.
Do you have the original file? Can you upload that again to this channel?
I might be able to download it from the other page, delete it, and then put it on this one.
I would do that. I would do that if I were you. And
this one has.
That's going to be like a thing to talk about in the future. You should put all of those 7-day films on this channel.
Yeah.
Real quick, getting caught up on the chat, Peter. Steve, Mr. Holland Ash Outdoors is over here hanging out in the chat. Sir, I want to thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us. John says you can post videos. You can only do videos on Instagram through the computer. They need to be and they can be upwards of 60 minutes. That's crazy. I didn't know you could do 60-minute videos on Instagram. And he's saying,
but you can't do that on the phone.
I don't know if you can do that.
That's weird because I can't even post pictures from the computer. You can do videos, but not a picture.
And John, what was you said you just recorded, edited, and posted your first video using only your phone? What was the purpose for that? Well, like, why did you need to do that? Were you just experimenting with it, or did you have a malfunction that caused you to have to do it?
Was it a short? If it was a short, that makes sense. Walking around using your phone, nothing fancy.
Oh, I tell you what, the formula for shorts, obviously you make them longer. Make 45 to 60-second shorts is part of the key.
I still haven't figured that out.
People they're messing up by doing these 15-second shorts. And then you're competing against people doing 1-minute videos, and your time frame is like 15 seconds to 1 minute. A 15-second video is going to have a harder time competing with a 1-minute video.
I'm talking about mine. I don't know why my cartoons didn't hit the short list, the short shelf.
That's just how it goes. Don't put any time thinking about it. Don't worry about it, and don't stress. Just keep doing it, because what's going to happen, I guarantee.
I put all my time thinking about it. That's all I think about all day.
I know that's what everybody does, and that's the problem. People worry about it too much.
My views are me.
YouTube is fickle. The other half are me. YouTube is
because I get such a kick out of them.
It's just, that's just how YouTube works. You'll put out something good, and YouTube will just, it'll mess it up. It'll just put it in front of the wrong audience. You'll get the wrong, and you never know what's going to happen 4 years from now. Like a video will just up and randomly pop after 4 years. It happens. YouTube messes up the audiences that it puts it in front of. With shorts, it's a lot easier for them to get that right. And you'll just randomly, like, you'll be putting them out. You'll get 300 views. You'll get 100 views. You'll get absolutely nothing. And then you'll get 50,000 views. Like,
I will say this. Something's going on with my YouTube. Something's going on with my YouTube, because y'all did your live stream yesterday, right? Is that yesterday? Okay, so I was looking for y'all because I figured, because you hadn't responded to my text message yet, so I figured maybe he's live. So I went to your channel, and you weren't. It didn't say anything about you being live, and so I was like, "That's weird." It's Monday. He usually does it at around 5 o'clock. So I sat there and I kept going to your channel, and it never once showed me that you were live. I never got a notification that you were live or anything until this morning saying, "Hey, Paul is live," and you missed it. Which I love jumping in the chat, so I was a little bit upset. I was like, man, that's weird. And then I see this morning that y'all were live, but I just didn't, my phone wouldn't, YouTube didn't let me see it.
That's interesting. I don't think I'm getting, we had Savannah's dance, and I don't think this plays into it, but it's something to consider. We had Savannah's dance over the weekend, and I did a private live stream of her dance so that we would have the video, you know, to be able to watch it. But they had all of this proprietary music that they used, and I got like 8 copyright claims on that private video. So my immediate reaction is like, oh shit, I got shadow banned. But I don't think that's the case, because I did have 15, 18 people show up yesterday.
That's weird. It might just, it's probably just on my end. I watch a lot of channels that probably would get me, that probably put me on a list somewhere, like Tim Cast and Steven Crowder. I've been waiting for Steven Crowder to come back, and we finally got a video on why he's been gone and all that. So I'm probably on like a list, I'm sure. And that's what I think it is, Paul. They're trying to, they're censoring my viewing. They're not censoring my channel, my viewing abilities.
Doing the opposite of it. That's funny.
They're like, this guy watches all this content. He needs to be watched. Like, he needs to be coerced into watching. That explains the Teletubby videos popping up in my feed. Which I gotta thank YouTube for that. Those videos were awesome too. I wish you'd throw some Yo Gabba Gabba in there.
Yeah, among and then like in combination with like Wang and the quartering in
my feed. Okay, so my girls
like,
my girls use my when they get on the PlayStation and they watch YouTube, they're using my account, right? So my feed is the most bizarre collection of Wang, Leon Lush, Pay Money Wubby, Mr. Beast, and then like Teletubbies and Barney and whatever kid shows are now. I can't remember the names of those. Some of them are kind of good. Odd Ones Out are pretty good, but like this is so Roblox. There's a ton of Roblox and Minecraft videos in there.
Yeah, same here.
And Among Us is the new Roblox. Apparently, I don't know. Everybody's talking about Among Us. I don't know anything about it, but
yeah.
So my feed is interesting to look at. It'd be something funny to put on, just to take a photograph of my feed.
Real quick, John. Let's see. What did he say? He said he was trying it just for fun to see if you. How'd it go? Recording with your phone. What are your thoughts on that versus a computer? I'm on the opposite side of it, obviously. I've got a new computer coming in now as a result of yesterday. And so I'm like, going to be, taking a real serious look at switching back over editing on computer and stuff, a little hesitant to do so. I'm curious how you felt about editing on the phone versus the computer. From
Man,
your
I personally, well, that was weird. I personally think that editing on a computer is better,
yeah, it's
but
gonna be better.
it's not as quick and simple. Like you can do most of your edits on a phone. Like most edits aren't that big of a deal. Just clipping, cutting the ends off of a clip, right?
Yep.
You can do that on a phone pretty easy. It's when you want to get fancy, when you want to start making it look, real professional, or when you want to start adding lower thirds and all this extra stuff. There's 100 apps out there you can get to help a phone video look better, but then you compare it to something done on a computer. I would say like Movie Maker is the equivalent of what you can do on a phone. And then when you start getting into like the Adobe softwares and all that, the real good software, you'll never want to do it on the phone again, because you can make edits down to the frame, probably a little bit easier than on a phone. Because I think phones, just your big fat finger on the screen's not going to be able to get it down to the frame as easily as you could do just by typing in a number.
Yeah. Okay. So John says it was pretty cool. He thinks it's better for use for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Shorts. I think that makes perfect sense. And
Yeah.
that's probably a really good idea. Instead of switching back and forth or doing anything like that, I'll probably if I had the capacity to do everything I wanted to do, I'd probably switch over editing on the computer, but then continue to do Shorts and Instagram, Twitter, and all of that on the phone, just to make it a quick and easy thing.
And the apps are getting better. Phones are going to be more prevalent, I think, than computers in the future, just because of the convenience of it. And so I do like drawings and artwork and stuff, right? Well, one of the apps that I used that really made a difference was the Office Lens, which I didn't even. That was a couple years ago. I got that one, and that one's so cool because you can take a picture. For me, I'd want to take a picture of my artwork and then edit it. But a photograph, then what do we all know? Contrast. If you take a photograph and you're like, oh, I want to get rid of all the color, take down the saturation, make it black and white, and then up the contrast, and then up the highlights and all this stuff just to make your photograph look like a black and white drawing. But then Office Lens comes out and it does all of that instantly. You can take a picture of a drawing from an angle and it straightens it out for you.
Yeah.
Which I think was really cool. But then which is on the fly, that's a pretty cool little app to have. But when I'm at home, I'd rather go with my scanner. I guess when I'm doing like the bigger stuff, like stuff I was posting on Instagram yesterday is all Photoshop, colored, painted, and all that through Photoshop. So that's not something I could do as easily on my phone. But then again, thinking about it, that Corel app, there we go again with another app. The Corel app actually looks better than Photoshopping. If I want to do something that looks like it has some artistic, I guess the brushes, right? The brushes in Corel. I can color a drawing, and the coloring I think looks better on Corel than what I can do. Like Photoshop looks too clean. It doesn't account for certain brush strokes. It's like anyway. So I would rather use Corel to color something, but I can't do it as fast as say on my computer, or I can't blend it. I don't know. I have sometimes some of my drawings I have literally bounced between my phone and my computer through like Google Drive or the Facebook Messenger to add an effect. I know that it won't be as easy to do on my phone. I'll throw it over on the computer and do it real quick. And then I'll bounce it back over to my phone to add another little technique using Corel, and then bounce it back, and it's ridiculous.
I do that. Even on the phone, I do that with thumbnails. I've got I don't think you're ever going to get away from that, because no app gets everything like perfectly right. Same thing with like video editing. You have to have the different apps, the different programs to do the different things. On the phone, I got Snapseed is a really good editing program for photos. For a lot of the real fine tuning stuff you want to do to a photo, whether it be like the HDR kind of effects, The you want to single out a specific color, do your what's that, the red, blue, green color, mapping,
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, the channels, all of that stuff. Snapseed is great for that. Like, it's really, really good for that sort of stuff. But the overlays in Snapseed are absolutely horrendous. So PixArt is like the thing that I use. Like, I will edit my photo for thumbnails, and for sometimes if I need a still on a video for some reason. All of our graphics, all of our lower thirds are all done with taking a photo in Snapseed, editing that photo to the way it needs to look, and then running it through PixArt for any kind of overlay work. That's all.
I don't know how. I guess I'm yelling, but so I don't know how interesting this would be, but this would be kind of a fun experiment to do a stream where we do everything as complicated as we can do it, right? Like, for example, I do a drawing, and I take the drawing and I scan it into the computer, and then I put it in the computer, show everybody how I clean up my line work, how I separate the actual black lines from the white, and make it its own layer so that I could color behind the black lines. But then, there's an effect I want to use Corel for. So I'll take that section, bounce it over to my phone, and then draw through Corel that coloring, and then show why that's important, put it back on the computer, and then tweak that a bit with Photoshop until I have the final project of the picture. I don't know. That might be incredibly boring, but I'd watch that stream.
I would take a different approach with that. And I think John will agree with me on this one. How-to videos are, you need to incorporate them. You need to have a playlist of how-to videos. You will get traffic. You will get evergreen views. Like, those things produce views year in and year out. And doing a how-to video, this is how you make this is how you take your drawing and turn it into a graphic for Spreadshirt. If you can make that video a 3 or 5 minute video, or if you really want to get paid, an 8-minute video, but make it interesting and keep people watching. If you can hit your analytics in YouTube with a how-to video like that, you will get views. People don't make any of those videos, but people are looking for those videos.
That's true. And I hate to dumb it down in like a quick video because some of it will take a lot of time, but I guess that makes more sense. To be more like, I'd get more views. The analytics would be better to break it down like that quickly.
It's just something to add to it. It's just something. I mean, there's like you're talking about doing your 100 videos in a year. You need to do your video a week in addition to your live stream per week. So it's one of those where it's just like one of these times when you're doing all of that, just film yourself doing it, get that video on there, and put it in the just put it out there. Have that be that next video that you put out, because it's going to produce views, but it also it's when you have that mental block, one of those times you don't know what to film, that's the thing to film.
Yeah, that's true.
John says he's for one, he's already full on his terabyte hard drive because of the videos. Yeah, the phone that I used to film is a terabyte, and I can probably film like 4 or 5 videos before I eat up that entire terabyte with everything that's filmed and the finished. Of course, when you finish a video, then you now have a 20-minute video that's in addition to all of the clips that you filmed. I've got that on the Google Photos. Like every 3 or 4 videos, it all has to get wiped and thrown up on.
Yeah, because your phone only has so much memory. And I even on my computer, I think I don't remember how much memory I have on my computer, but I knew I was going to fill it up real quick. So I ended up getting a 4 terabyte external hard drive, which I've got to clean it up because it's about halfway full right now. But most of it is copied files from I copied my desktop over onto it, so I would never lose anything. So there's a lot of copied files I don't need. I need to clean up my hard drive and everything, clear all that up.
And he also says that he confirms what I'm saying. How-to videos do good, and they are evergreen. It's really nice. Like while you're sitting here making videos, like you're going to have videos that do good, you're going to have videos that do poor. You're putting them out every week, and what ends up happening is you're going to have this steady flow of views coming in, right? And every time you put out a video, it's going to get a spike from all your audience, and then it's going to like start coming back down to normal, and it's going to do this number. But as you put out evergreen videos, how-to videos in particular, like I would put out one a month, a how-to video. What's going to happen is that this is going like this number, you get these spikes and then nominal and spikes and nominal. This nominal is going to start climbing up.
So what about doing something about like let's say doing a Twitch stream, right? Let's say you do a Twitch stream and it's like several hours long. You film the whole process on Twitch, and you take the Twitch video and edit that down for YouTube. Like I see some people doing that. Like Pay Money Wubby does that with his streams. He puts it on YouTube, but it's like the abbreviated version of the stream.
Yep.
That'd be a good way to.
The rule on that is you have to wait 24 hours. That's a Twitch rule.
That's not bad. That's not too bad. I mean, it's artwork. Artwork's not relevant, like like politics would be. So 24 hours.
I would figure out a good process for it. Like do your Twitch stream and do it knowing that you're going to be making a YouTube video afterwards. You're going to edit that. So, be mindful of that during your Twitch stream. Know your edit points and make it as easy on yourself as possible. But yeah, I say recycling content is critical. It's critical. If you're streaming to Twitch, you need to edit that down on YouTube. If you're making a short for YouTube, you need to also post that on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, whatever platform you're going to put them on. You recycle. And you don't make it where it's like, just because I did a short, now I'm going to spread that onto every freaking platform I can put it on. You make it relevant for each one. Sometimes you make the exact same short video, but what I'll do, for example, is I will make a short video. And that short video is going to go on YouTube. Then on another, I will make the exact same video since it's already made, and I will cut the song that I used for that YouTube video because of copyright issues, and I will put that on TikTok. But I will use a licensed song on TikTok because you can do that. I'll do that exact same video on Instagram. It's the same video with a complete different edit, just with no audio on one, so that second one can go onto platforms where I'm allowed to use copyright music. So you're not just like copy and pasting and that you're throwing it to the wind. You want it proprietary for each platform, but in doing so, little differences like that they add up. That's how you're going to make it relevant for every single one. And recycling is huge. You want to do that.
Yeah, I see a lot of that, which is kind of it kind of makes. Like Timcast does a lot of recycling, right? Like all his videos that he puts out in the day will be in his live stream that night. Only they'll have a person on that they discuss basically the same information, and then he'll repeat the same ideas over the course of like a week throughout all of his videos. I don't mind that per se because I love listening to him talk about all this stuff, and there's always little nuances and differences and everything. But I can definitely see this recycling content trend in, say, YouTube. That's definitely a thing
it's
right
online.
now.
It's not just YouTube. It's all platforms.
I should take my cartoons that I've already done and then put them all together in a quick what is it, top Peter's top cartoons list.
You need to take that up a notch, and you need to take all of those cartoons and once a week post them on, or once a day even post them on TikTok. Since they're already made, they're ready to go, post them on Instagram. Same exact thing. Do it. And then after you get like 10 episodes, do exactly what you're talking about. The exact same thing. You post all 10 of them together on a YouTube video. And then a couple days later, you post all 10 of them together on TikTok, Instagram, recycle that out. At least right now, like when you're trying to gain traction, that's how you do it. That's how you get a library of work out there working for you. The library works for you. Like if you have 100 videos, you don't just have, I put out a video and let's see how that one video does. When you have 100 videos, you put out that one video and let's see how all 100 videos do. And if you're doing that on TikTok and Instagram and all these other platforms, it's the exact same thing. You're not just putting out that one video to see what's going on. You're putting out that one video and you're seeing how all 100 videos react on all platforms. Like it's just, you're putting a lot more bait in the water.
And there's got to be a quicker and easier way to do that. I mean, they need to make a quicker and easier way to do that, because maybe not. I don't know. Everybody will do it at that case, but it takes me between like a drawing or video or something. It takes me several days to finish a simple thing because of all the posting. Like I do a drawing, and then I'll color it in, and all that can literally take a whole day easily from start to finish. Sometimes if it's a complicated one like the one I'm working on right now, it could take several days to. And so, but then after I'm done with it, then I've got to go spend like an hour putting it on Spreadshirt. I've got to spend an hour, not an hour, like 10 minutes putting it on Instagram. I got to take that Instagram and I've got to put that on the Peter Archer Studios and then and share it over to the. That literally one little tiny thing could take days to do, just to go across all the different mediums. I wish there'd be a quicker and easier way to. I know you can link pages and stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't figured that out on Instagram yet. There's a way to link my Facebook to it, so every time I post on Instagram, it automatically goes. But I tried to sign that up, and it wouldn't even work.
You don't want to do that, because people know they like. There's one thing. It's one thing to recycle content. It's another to just shit post, just to post it on the one thing and have it shared to everything. You don't want to do that. People get it. You want the whole thing about all these different platforms is like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. The value in doing all of them is that you're reaching people on Instagram who don't do Facebook. They don't do Twitter or YouTube. You're speaking solely to the people on Instagram. Now, there's going to be people that follow you on all of them, but everybody has that preference. You, for example, you don't like Twitter. You know, Twitter, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's you have the platforms that cater to you, and you want to cater to the people specific on those platforms. So don't just spam post stuff. You want to make a post on Twitter that is specific to the people on Twitter. Even if it's the exact same post you put on Instagram or Facebook, you're going to make that post specific for those people.
I think I could do Twitter. I just I feel like I'd end up baiting people. I'd probably get in trouble if I did Twitter, because I'd post stuff that I know would just get a reaction, but then just to egg people on. For example, I would have posted something like I did on Facebook, which I expected a better react. I don't know. I got a good reaction when I posted. I have an opinion on what's going on in DC. And then everyone's like, "Well, what is your opinion on this whole matter?" I'm like, "Well, Wonder Woman sucked, and Superman, the Batman movie's not looking forward to that," because they obviously wanted to know. They wanted to argue with me automatically just by posting it. So, and I didn't actually intend to go that direction with that post, because I just wanted to see what a reaction I would get by saying I have an opinion on this, but without actually saying an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But then people, I'm starting to get like, well, what is it? And I'm like, DC comics. Let's just go down that road, let's change it a little bit just to make it a joke. And it was like, oh, the Wonder Woman, blah, 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 this and that, Batman. That's Twitter, what I'd be doing on Twitter.
Twitter loves controversy. If you're going to make posts like that, that might not be a bad platform for you to do it. But do what you're comfortable with,
Yeah, well, I haven't done it. I haven't done Twitter yet. I'm not sure if I even want to waste time with it right now. Their stock's dropping pretty bad. I don't think it's going to go under anything like that, but it'll go back up.
It's a platform. It's one of the bigger ones. No, I don't see any traffic on it at all. The social media platforms are a means of engagement, because I'm trying to siphon everything to YouTube.
Has Twitter helped you at all with your channel?
What's that?
Has Twitter even helped you with your channel at all? Has it provided any useful?
Yeah, the Twitter has made probably a 0.5% difference on my channel analytically. Now, that having been said, I cannot measure the value of the conversations that I've had on Twitter, the friends that I've made. The stuff that we did with Darcizzle was directly the result of conversations that I've had on Twitter. I've had, like I said, I had conversations with Leon Lesh and Jason Wang, and that did not make a single iota difference on my YouTube channel. but I very much value those conversations of being able to talk to people about things on a platform where, you know, I wouldn't have access to those guys on other platforms.
Yeah, that makes sense. And there's a few people I'd have something to talk about. Be like, I'd probably be promoting myself a lot. I imagine I'd get on there and be like, "Hey, love your channel. This is my thought. Also, hire me to make T-shirts or something. Let
You
me do
got to
some artwork."
cater. Yeah, you
And
got to specifically cater to how you're going to do that.
I'm sure they get that all the time.
You got to be smart about it. They do. People they spam out those posts. Like what John is saying here. He says, "How do you feel about people posting on Twitter and tagging everyone and their brother in the post?" That is such a wrong way to do it. It's spam. I mean, you're insulting people when you do that. Yes, I'm not going to cry about being a name in a post, you know, like it shares it out and I get a couple of subs. But then guess what happens? Like, it's just like every other platform. A week later, I lose, you know, I gained 7 subs and I lost 8. You know, I've been sitting at 1,000 followers on Twitter for a year now. And I'm not trying. Like, I'm just fine where I'm at on Twitter. I don't care about that. But those posts do absolutely nothing. And you see those guys. We know the people, the offenders on that. We know the names. And those guys sit there and cry about how they can't grow. And every time they gain a sub, they lose 2 and wah, wah, wah. It's because you're doing this all wrong. You don't want to see these posts. I don't want to see my name listed next to 20 people in a, hey, follow these guys. And then for the next 3 hours, I see every response on that from everybody glad handing each other. And it doesn't do anything. Like, there's no value in that. Yeah, that's my opinion. Let me tell you how I really feel.
Well, if I wasn't on, I don't know, I'd imagine like Twitter, I might check that one out. I'm not sure yet. I'm still not sure if I even care about doing Twitter, but
it's good about the people you can talk to. That's the value.
It's not the following. I am learning how to get into all these apps and all this stuff. I'm getting more apps and I'm learning all this. I've spent the past few years learning all these programs to do something interesting, and now I have to learn all these apps and everything to make it happen, right? To make it work. So that's good. I mean, I'm actually kind of excited. Just like yesterday, Instagram, I was posting stuff on Instagram, and it was kind of fun. As far as like gaining and losing likes or followers or something, Instagram's a funny one because I had one day when I first started with it, I 0, and then a week later I had I think like 100, 200 or something like that after just a week because I posted a whole bunch of stuff. And then the next week it went down to like 50, and I don't even know where I'm at. Somewhere like 90, I think, followers on Instagram. And I don't know. It's like people are like, "Oh man, I imagine what's going on in their brains." Like they're going through the search thing. They're like, "Oh, that's a cool drawing. I'm going to click on that guy's page. Ooh, he's great. I'm going to follow this guy." And then the next day they're going through their list of people they're following. And they're like, "Man, swipe, get rid of him, get rid of him." Not doing anything interesting. I don't understand. I haven't unfollowed anybody. Okay, I take that back. On Instagram, I was following people. I was just hitting the follow button on all these pictures, and then I start to realize some of the people I was following were maybe promoting their OnlyFans accounts. So I realized that I'm seeing a bunch of followings that I'm like, oh, I'm not really down for that. I was into the cosplay. So I had to unfollow 30, 40, 50, 60 maybe people.
Yeah, we on YouTube and just get used to that. There's going to be the unfollow thing. Like there's a lot of bot accounts and people they cry about that one all day long. Losing subs, get a thick skin quick because that is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. And guess what? The bigger you get, the worse it gets. Like these guys at 1,000 subscribers are crying about how they lost 8 or sometimes 20 subscribers. But I mean, I've seen it. I've seen Roberto Blake and Nick Nimmin. We've sat there and talked about their, how they lose subs too. It's like everybody does. It's bots on the internet that go out there and subscribe, and then YouTube eliminates them, and they're losing subscribers sometimes to the tune of like 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. It's a percentage deal.
I'm not sure if it's this channel or my other channel, but my other channel, one of my channels had a lot of subscribers on it. I mean, and now I haven't even been looking at that number. Honestly, I don't even look at the subscriber number.
It
So when
doesn't
you
matter.
tell me I got like at the beginning, you're saying I got he's a 50th subscriber. I was like, hey, that's cool. I thought I had 300 on one of them, but that might also be my Facebook that I'm thinking of, or no, it was maybe my other channel, but or something. At one point, I had because of that Beeville Police Department video
Yep.
that had 16,000 views. This was like 7 years ago. That I was like, whoa. And that's when I was like, yeah, Paul, good luck with your YouTube channel. Good luck beating my 16,000 views and like 100 and something subscriber count. And then I'm like, oh wait, I'm at 50 now.
You know what? Hey,
when you don't post anything for years,
I want to address something about that though, because we had that conversation, you know, obviously when we first started off, that was, you set a benchmark. And I will say, like, I am a very chip on my shoulder kind of person. And from day one, like we had our arguments about social media and stuff like that. But I will say, like from day one, there were several conversations that I hold in my mind. I hold a chip on my shoulder. On the other side of the coin, the conversations that we had about YouTube, like your 16,000 hit video, I held that as a benchmark. And to this day, I totally respect you were real mature about the way that you handled that. You never once sat there and were like I don't have a chip on my shoulder, one, about anything, any conversation we had about YouTube kind of stuff. Even back then, there were some conversations I had with other individuals that I'm still to this day, like, you know, I'm not going to go up to your face and say, I told you so. But
I also wasn't.
You like your whole thing was totally cool. Like you were always real respectful of it.
I was not. But here's the other thing. I was always like, hey, that's awesome. He's doing a YouTube channel. I'm not. Yep, I was always supportive of that.
Yep.
I was never against like the cell phone thing either. The only argument I think me and you ever had was
other people. Yeah, with the cell phone.
The
thing.
only argument me and you ever had was about the value of Facebook. Yeah. Which I actually have rescinded my argument on that. I think you're absolutely right. Facebook is completely worthless when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah. That's not my argument.
Well, okay. The argument was that you have to have Facebook in order, or you don't have to, but that Facebook dramatically helps your channel, which I thought, okay, you definitely need Facebook. And because you weren't doing your Facebook, you didn't do a Facebook page. It was like, man, you're not going to get any viewers if you can't even promote yourself. But that's because I didn't understand how YouTube was working at the time. Yeah. And now I get it. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I totally see why you don't need Facebook to have a successful. It helps, sure, but it's not. That's like everything. It helps, but you don't need it. You don't really need it. And as far as like my 16,000 view or whatever, I don't even know where it's at now. I never even took credit for that because, yeah, it was a cool video, but that's not why it got 16,000 views. I didn't rub that in any. I jokingly rubbed that in people's face as a joke because it was a cop-out. I didn't earn 16,000 views because I made a video that deserved it. I made a video that had the word Beeville Police Department in the title, and then the Beeville Police Department came under scrutiny like a year after I posted the video. It had nothing to do with my video. Or my video had nothing to, I didn't do any, it was completely unrelated events that swarmed a whole bunch of people to my video. And then they're watching it and they hit like or whatever. The views, it was views. Because they thought my video was attached to something else. But if they had looked at the timeline, my video was like a year or two before whatever event.
People don't do that.
They were searching.
No, but you do need to take credit for, like, you might have walked into it blindly, but don't think that it had absolutely nothing to do with you. Like, you hit a trend and you got views as a result of a trend. And that thumbnail, it's one of those weird things where, like, that thumbnail, you got a lot of those views because of that thumbnail, period, bar none. Like you said, it was a trending topic and you got a thumbnail that it doesn't have to be a super designed, perfectly, graphic illustration of the video. sometimes just that regular screenshot that YouTube will take from a video is the kind of thing that people are looking for when they're searching. That being an obvious example of it. Like the thumbnail on that one is one that people obviously like they responded to in that trending topic. You might have stumbled into this one a little bit, but you still get full credit for having made a video that got 16,000 views. You need to take a look back on that and be like, okay, so this is what happened. How can we reproduce this? And it's
no. That won't work because the video didn't. There's nothing I could reproduce. I posted a video and then 2 years later, something out of my control happened. And so people came looking for that, and what they saw was my video, which had nothing to do with that. And so they clicked on it. That's nothing. You can't reproduce that.
Yeah, you can. Sure, you can. Absolutely.
By predicting the future, and then.
No. But that you cannot predict. You can't.
It's like the Simpsons. I could post. I had to post a video with everything that could possibly ever happen, and put it in the title and description or whatever. And then hopefully, you know, like the Simpsons, they've done so many episodes. You always hear about how the Simpsons predict the future. Well, right. Matt Groening or whatever said, well, you know, when you do a video, an episode a week, or however frequently they do an episode a week times 30 years, you're going to eventually, you have so many, you know, like months of footage, you're eventually going to, you know, get a couple right out of like so many hours of content.
You cannot predict events. However, there are events that you can say are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are things like I mean, you have to sit here and kind of brainstorm about it. But for example, The Forest, I guess, I don't know, but like obviously The Forest was a kind of a cult hit video game. They have a sequel coming out. So there is no trend. Well, there's a slight trend now for Sons of the Forest. You know that thing is going to have a trend when that video gets started. So you can predict that something like that is going to happen, and you can formulate a plan of attack based on the presumed trend. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do that for BPD, but you saw how that trend worked. You saw how it affected that BPD video. Now, how can you turn around and see those elements for the things that you do for the audience that you want and turn them around?
And I could basically seek out I could look at events and whatever and make a video based off of what I think is going to be trending or whatever, which is not. And I could take that from that video. I totally agree with that. But I was a little kind of embarrassed that like 16,000 people saw that video because, for one, that was another one of those videos made with like complete garbage equipment. Like I think the camera might have been okay, but my microphone sucked. The editing software I had was I think Movie Maker, which I had to break rules for Movie Maker. I love when you're limited. I love to take that limitation and then just blow it up, you know, do completely unexpected, impossible things with that software. But the quality came out kind of lame. And also, I was on a time crunch when I had to make that video, and there's still a good third section of that whole video. My favorite section, or maybe I had to take that section out, but there's a whole section of that video that didn't even make it on the final product because the version where I got taken down by the cops. That would have made it. I would have gotten 20,000 views if I put that in there because the end of that video was so funny. It didn't even make it into the final product, but because I think it was like questionable, like a bunch of cops taken down. Like they had a part of this video. This whole video was a police ride along program. So the whole purpose was what to do, what to expect during a ride along. As for people like they're a guest of the police officer for the day. They ride along with the police officer all day and kind of see how things work. All right, that's the whole purpose of the ride along. Mm-hmm. I was making a video of what to expect. Well, the end of that video was in the event of a perpetrator. You know, this is what you were supposed to do. But I was the actor that played the perpetrator. So in the video, I'm like a big guy, 6'4", and you got a bunch of these like little guys. not all little, but like the whole scene was they're tackling me, and so I had to run, and they're like, run as fast as you can, we're gonna catch up and take you down. And it was like 5 guys, I think it was like 5 or 6 guys tackling me, and then like handcuffing me and doing the whole 9 yards. Well, it was a lot of fun to make, and it was awesome. It was like the funniest part of the video, which is probably why they didn't want it in there. It's also maybe a little controversial. I don't know. Anybody getting taken down by police officers,
Yeah.
questionable, material, whether or not you want that online. If I had put it on there, it would have totally gone viral on its own, I think, because it was hilarious to watch. I got a lot of sticker burrs that day, but I didn't make it into the final product, and I ended up hitting a trend by accident, which was hilarious. Which is why I jokingly wrote. I didn't even know it until 5 years after it trended. Like, I remember all the nonsense of the Bevo Police Department and the controversy that happened, but I never even thought to look at my own video. I want to say somebody pointed out in a conversation, like, yeah, man, I mean, I do videos, and I don't know how I'm going to get like 16,000 views like your video, and I was like, what are you talking about? My video? What are you talking? The police video did real good. And I was like, yeah. In the conversation, I was like, yeah, I mean, it just happens. But in the back of my mind, I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I looked, and I was like, holy shit! Like, my video's like trending or whatever. It's like, it didn't trend, but it went viral because it was a shock to see, like 3 years later, that my video had so many views based off of some. I didn't even think to see, hey man, this controversy might be, helping my video out. Because I wasn't even making that channel wasn't even supposed to be like, it was supposed to be, like a YouTube channel where I'm constantly posting, but I wasn't. It was just it was like a dump for all my work, right? A place to put all my stuff that I had. I don't want to lose it to time, so I put it on YouTube.
That's what so many channels start off like that.
Like, I mean, well, yeah, YouTube's still fairly new. Most of the stuff, I imagine, most of the content on YouTube is probably just stuff that people put on there so they wouldn't lose it, like a storage, like Google Drive or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A lot of people use it like that. You're right. It's probably like 90% of the videos on here. Because some of the statistics on videos are worthless because it's so like heavily skewed. Like, did you know if you have like 1,000 subscribers, that puts you in like the top 10% of YouTube? And I could be wrong on that. I think it might even be closer to the top like 8% or something like
that makes sense. I've actually got okay, so here's a fun, if anybody wants to go on like an investigation, because every couple of years I'll look it up myself, and I can't even find it anymore. I had a channel. It was my first YouTube channel ever. It's Condition Black. I think it's Condition Black 1980 because I made it with Wade, and I was gonna put Condition Black 1984 as the channel name, but because he was in it, I think it might just be Condition Black. I don't even remember anymore. Anyways, so I've got a channel out there that I don't even have the password for anymore that has one video of a Transformer, a Star Wars Transformer. It was a stop motion that me and Wade made, and it's of a Star Wars Transformer, like, it's like, I think, to classical music or something, because we knew copyright was a thing, but we didn't know the rules, so we just picked something that was over a music piece that was like over 100 years old, so we couldn't get copyright claimed on it, and then posted this little stop motion. Of course, then I didn't think, well, maybe the orchestra that played that version that we used probably could sue us, but didn't think about that. This was like, dude, this had to have been like 12 years, right when YouTube first got started.
Yeah, I remember that. It was around the 2006 time when YouTube.
I like challenge anybody to find that video because I can't even find it. The first year it was easy to find. I just typed in Star Wars, Transformers, Condition Black is like the weird search that I had to do to find it. Now, can't find it. It's on there because I'll every now and then I will go and I'll like a couple years ago I tried to find it. Huh?
You get every now and then you go track it down. I'm like that with my old channel. I would say you do need to go and you need to down from those other channels, the ones that you can download them and put them again on this, like the 7-day film festival stuff. You need to get them on here. There's a lot of value in having that on there.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing with that I did with the TV Fly. TV Fly was on its own channel, and I was actually this whole concept of the cartoons and making a playlist of what I hear when I hear TV noise, right? Well, that was originally supposed to be its own channel. TV Fly was supposed to be just a channel of random, nonsensical garbage I was going to put on YouTube. But then we were talking about having multiple channels and how that it doesn't really help you at all. So I decided to put it all on this channel. So I took TV Fly off and put it on this channel. I can go take BAC wherever that's at. I think it's on Fortress of Rock. I can put that on this channel. That'll help.
I would. I mean, especially right now, like you're under the, you're well under the 100 video mark. Right now is the time to put all of that stuff on here and kind of have it on the back end of your channel, so that 5 years from now, when you have a consistent library, these are the videos that people can go back and search for, as opposed to having a consistent library and then all of a sudden you just have these random, sporadic, hidden posts from a long time ago. Have them all collected at the tail end of your channel.
I've got that DVD somewhere. If I could ever find it, I got 2 DVDs. And it's, how many hours would you say those DVDs are? It's like 4 or 5 hours of all those videos I used to make. Now I wouldn't want to put all of them on there, but if I could find those DVDs, man, there'd be some funny content of young Peter.
That'll be
the new hashtag, young Peter.
That would be totally worth putting on.
That would be so funny for people to watch, because that stuff was hilarious. I think it's still hilarious. Some of it I might have to edit, but a lot of that stuff was pretty funny, and it was a lot of fun to make.
That and Eva Longoria, that one needs to get up here.
I have that one too somewhere. I actually think I have that one here. I'll go look for it later, but I'm pretty sure I actually have the Eva Longoria video. I know I found it once and was like, oh man, that's it. That's the one. And then the Sum 41 video, that I had that somewhere too. We weren't in that video. That's the video that they like. So it's before Sum 41 was a thing.
Recording stuff.
Yeah, back in the Warped Tour days, there was Sum 41 was this brand new up and coming band before MTV, all that. And they're a couple of guys standing outside of Warped Tour handing out VHSs to promote themselves. It was a VHS with a Sum 41 sticker on it, and we went home and watched it, and it was the coolest thing ever. And then a year later, they're huge. That's what we need to do, Paul. We need to go down to some concerts or some big events in Austin or something, handing out DVDs.
Old school style.
Oh yeah, VHS or cassette tapes, whatever.
That
doesn't
would be
matter.
Funny to put them on VHS and go hand out VHS tapes.
Yeah, to people. We probably wouldn't be able to hand them out, but that would be hilarious. What's your media? And then Hannah, we have would you like to watch our VHS or DVD? Are you a DVD guy now? I know, high tech. And then Blu-rays. Okay, I got a Blu-ray around here somewhere. I don't know. We can put it all in different media, or just make business cards. Just hand them out.
Yeah, actually, I'm talking to Nick. I keep telling him I'm going to get some business cards done through him, and I keep not getting the stuff together for him.
Yeah, cards. It'd be better to go for Nick.
I'm running on borrowed time here. I'm afraid I need to get out of here and get a few things taken care of for this morning.
That's cool. Well, that's been a fun show. What do you think? Maybe Friday?
Let me see real quick. Hold on 1 second. I'm not sure what the plan is. I need to talk to you in a bit about that, because I'm not sure what the plan is on Friday. I don't think we're going fishing. I'm not sure what Rachel's schedule is, because she's taking Fridays. She does like half days on Fridays, and she's taking some off. I don't know if she's taking Friday off or not. If she does, I'm maybe running to the beach.
That's cool. Well, either way, I might be doing a stream on Friday. I'm trying to put out more videos, and people should go check out the Spreadshirt Peter Orchard Studios.
Yeah. On that note, let me get a couple of things done here, and if you are available, maybe a little after lunch, I'll try to get back in touch with you, and I can show you how to set up these live streams. But also, we need to get some of those links. You need to get those links all connected. All your social media needs to have links to each other. Instagram, like I promoted on there this morning, and I don't know if anybody actually had a means of finding this via Instagram. So you need to have a link in your bio on there to your YouTube channel. We need to have links in the descriptions of these videos that go to your Fiverr and your Instagram and your Facebook. All of that stuff needs to be on there. You can go to your backstage stuff on YouTube. And in fact, if you want to cut the live stream right now, we can spend a couple of minutes doing this, like talking on the backstage portion of this instead of like spending all this time talking on a live stream. If you want to do that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do that now. Then say goodbye to everybody.
If anybody has any, leave comments on any ideas because we're going to be doing live streams more, I think. And anybody wants to let me know what they want to see.
Appreciate you having me on, Peter. We'll see everybody in the next video. We'll get another live stream going.